Good, happy Wednesday afternoon. It is Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Wednesday afternoon edition of WRMK News 12 at noon. We got a jam-packed broadcast to get to this afternoon, so let's begin right now. First up, Pelham Police looking for a person of interest in connection with a hit and run. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
We're at George Muldoon Park here in Pelham, and this is the area where that accident happened. Police releasing that video showing the vehicle of interest at about 7:30 last night, and that was some 12 and a half hours after the crash here on Mammoth Road. They say the vehicle that hit the woman should have damage to the front passenger side corner and mirror. Now, one neighbor told us this area where the crash happened is a popular place for people to walk and jog, and when police arrived at the scene shortly after 7 yesterday morning, they say they found the woman sitting on the northbound shoulder with serious injuries. She was med-flighted to Leahy Hospital in Burlington, Massachusetts. She is expected to survive, but if you have any information or recognize the van, you're asked to please get in touch with Pelham Police. Reporting live, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
And new this morning, Boston first
Okay, and there you go on that report. Boston first responders conduct an active shooter drill at Logan Airport. Let's take a listen to that report from WCVB Boston.
And new this morning, Boston first responders spent the night practicing how they would protect passengers during an active shooter situation at the airport.
And we want to remind you what you're watching here is only a drill. This was held overnight at Logan, but you can see they tried to make it as realistic as possible with fake wounds and blood. Massport officials say it took 18 months to prepare for this simulation. State police, the TSA, and hundreds of volunteers and many others were part of this exercise.
We just want to train and be ready if the need is there, but we're hoping it never will be, so better be prepared than not.
Massport says a drill of this size hasn't been done in about 3 years.
I'm sorry, just does not cut it.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Man who participated in a 2009 Mount Vernon home invasion will remain in prison. Let's take a listen to that report from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
I'm sorry, just does not cut it.
Having served the required two-thirds of his minimum sentence, Quinn Glover, seen here during a prior court appearance, is now eligible to have the remaining 5 years suspended. Back in 2009, he was one of 4 people who entered the Cates home and took part in a home invasion and burglary. That crime left Kimberly Cates dead, her daughter Jamie severely injured. In denying to suspend the sentence, the judge wrote, although the defendant did not participate in the assaults, he was part of the planning for this horrible crime. In a hearing earlier this month, Glover's lawyer argued that Glover was only 17 at the time and cooperated by testifying against the 2 responsible for the murder and assault. Judge David Anderson noted the combined 20 to 40-year sentence, while hefty, is still on the lenient side in light of the defendant's conduct. In his decision, Judge Anderson added that while Glover has been on good behavior while in prison and has completed a considerable number of courses, the severity of the defendant's conduct outweighs all the positive steps the defendant has taken. That Glover was part of a premeditated plan to invade a random house, kill the occupants inside, and rob the house. The Attorney General's office said they would no further comment beyond what they've said in court. We did reach out to Glover's attorney as well, but so far haven't heard back. In the newsroom, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
None of the deadly...
Okay, and there you go on that report. Driver arrested after crashing into a New Hampshire State Police cruiser. State police said a Concord woman is facing charges after she crashed into a trooper's cruiser. The crash happened shortly after 10 p.m. Monday on South State Street near Wall Street in Concord. State police said a trooper was conducting a traffic stop when her cruiser was hit from behind. The cruiser was parked behind another vehicle when its emergency lights activated at the time, police said. The driver of the car, identified as Valerie Cray, 64, allegedly continued a short distance after the crash before pulling into a driveway. Cray was arrested and charged of driving under the influence, open container of alcohol, and conduct after an accident, state police said. The cruiser and Cray's vehicle sustained some damage, but no injuries were reported. Man accused of firing guns near person he was arguing with in New Durham. A man has been charged with reckless conduct after police said an argument at a New Durham home Tuesday night led to a gunfire. Police said the disturbance was reported just before 6 p.m. at a home on Quaker Road. New Hampshire State Police said James Robinson, 29, allegedly fired multiple rounds from multiple guns near the person he had been arguing with. Robinson is facing 3 felony charges of reckless conduct and 1 count of felony theft by unauthorized taking. He remains in jail pending an arraignment scheduled for today. Attorneys for Port Authority Director says he's innocent of charges. The legal team for the longtime director of the New Hampshire Port Authority said Wednesday that he is innocent of felony charges he's facing. Gino Macaroni is accused of providing confidential motor vehicle records to another person and deleting at least 1 voicemail related to an investigation. His wife, who is a state Supreme Court justice, has also been indicted for allegedly trying to interfere with the investigation. In a statement to WRMK News 12, Macaroni's attorney said state investigators have found nothing to suggest allegations of financial impropriety or port mismanagement. They said he's innocent and looks forward to reviewing the state's alleged evidence. Macaroni and his wife remain on leave. Deadly E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. Let's take a listen to that report from Good Morning America, ABC News.
In these 10 states, none of the deadly E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's. 1 person's dead, at least 49 people have gotten sick. CDC says it's linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders served in these 10 states. You see them right there. Colorado has the most cases. Mola Lange has the story. Good morning, Mola.
Well, good morning, George. As you mentioned, the outbreak turning deadly, impacting about a dozen states. The hardest hit right here in Colorado, where at least 27 people have fallen ill. The nationwide outbreak linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders. According to the CDC, 49 people in 10 states have become ill after eating the burgers from the fast food chain. At least 10 people hospitalized, and 1 person has died. Investigators focusing on McDonald's onions and beef patties, with early data finding the onions are a likely source of contamination. Now, McDonald's says it has proactively removed both ingredients from their stores in affected Midwest and Mountain West states during the investigation, and the majority of their menu items, they say, are not impacted. The CDC urging those who experience nausea and other symptoms after eating McDonald's to consult a doctor, Michael.
All right, Mola, great advice. Consult the doctor is right. Thank you for that.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And we are following some breaking news coming into our newsroom right now. Residents of a Nashua neighborhood asked to shelter in place after shots fired. A shelter in place order has been issued for residents of a Nashua neighborhood after shots were fired. Nashua police said residents of Bellcrest Road should shelter in place. Police said shots were fired in the area at about 12:15 p.m. A SWAT team was at the location, but no other details have been released. People were asked to avoid the area. This is a breaking news story. It will be updated as more information comes into our newsroom. And that is it for this afternoon edition of WRMK News 12 at noon on this Wednesday. Thank you for tuning in and watching, and have a great rest of your afternoon, and goodbye.